Great. So I'm going to talk about insurance, mainly focused on international students insurance. So as you may know, all international students in New Zealand are required to have medical and travel insurance. So one is from the Ministry of Education New Zealand and the Code of Practice. And one of the term is require that the university have responsibility, or other institution, any institution in New Zealand who are having international students, they need to sign a Code of Practice with NZQA. So one of the requirements is the university need to make sure all there's international students are enrolled in the university are covered by insurance. So some university, like all the universities in New Zealand, we provide student safe university insurance, but some high schools or different institutions, they might have different insurance, but they all have to make sure their students are insured. And another one is immigration. So that's more like students, your responsibility to make sure you are covered. So if your enrollment changes, you need to report to your school, your university, to make sure you are insured. Okay, so that's one of the conditions to meet your visa requirements. All right, so currently there are 4 accepted insurance in New Zealand. They meet the Code of Practice. So the code, they set up a standard. So it doesn't mean all the insurance you can buy. So only 4 insurance in New Zealand meet the code requirements. The first one is Student Safe University Insurance. Another one is Southern Cross, Unicare, and Orbit Protect. But they have different plans under Orbit Protect. The only plan compliant is the primary plan. So I compared for the 4 insurance, and I just summarized for the common coverage because they do more or less cover different things, but they all meet the code. So the first one is medical expenses and mental health, repatriation, your luggage, personal liability, death, or disabled. So for medical expenses, all the insurance in New Zealand, I mentioned before, they provide unlimited cover for sickness and injury with no excess, which is very generous coverage. So as long as you are sick or you get hurt in New Zealand, you can either go to, if you have student health service on your campus, you can go to your GP, or you can just go to local medical center, or you can go to after emergency or hospital. So as long as you're sick or get injured, you are covered in New Zealand. Most of insurance doesn't cover pre-existing medical condition. So if you have any medical condition before you start or before you move to New Zealand, normally it won't be covered. However, for student safe university insurance, if you declare, and sometimes they can cover the medical condition by paying extra, so case by case. And that insurance also cover alternative medical treatment, so like acupuncture stuff, so that's all covered. So you don't need to have doctor referral. As long as you think you need it, the acupuncturist can write you a letter to support that. Normally it's about $500 per year. Also, cover your emergency to travel home. That's including when students are really, really sick or mentally or physically really sick, they need to go home. The insurance can cover the flight tickets. Or sometimes your family back home are really, really sick. You want to see them. You can also talk to your insurance company to check if the trip can be covered, because they have some conditions. For example, it can be age limit under 76 years old, and the sickness cannot be a pre-existing. And also the relationship, so have to be your very close family members, like your parents, your grandparents, your partner, your children. So they're not going to cover your uncle, auntie, neighbor, or girlfriend, boyfriend. Okay, so very close family members. All the insurance will cover your optical. Different plan covers different amount. So optical means if your you study very hard, your eyesight changes, so you need a new glasses, the insurance can cover that. Or if your current glasses is damaged or stolen, you lost it, the insurance can cover that as well. And the emergency dental, that's only for emergency. So normal hygiene, if you just want to look pretty, you want to do whitening, it's not covered. So filling or replacement filling is not covered. Any normal maintenance is not covered. They only cover emergency. Like if you fall down, you break your toes, you need antibiotic, pain relief, or even extraction, the insurance can cover that. They normally cover up to 500. Yeah, it's for student side, it's $500. I think Southern Cross is about, I can't remember, but you can check policy yourself if you are with Southern Cross. So it doesn't cover normal maintenance. So unfortunately, the dental cost in New Zealand is very, very expensive. So if you're thinking to get it covered, you can go on the market to search if they have any potential insurance to cover dental, but it can be quite expensive. That's about medical. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave your message in the chat box and I can go back to that later. Next one is mental health. Student Safe University insurance, it covers pre-existing mental health. I understand other insurance doesn't. So if you are university students, pre-existing mental health can be covered under this insurance. It covers you up to $20,000 per event. So, and also we normally suggest students if you need to see a counselor or a psychiatrist for like 10 sessions, you can apply for pre-approval instead of you pay each time and make a claim. So you can apply for pre-approval for 10 sessions, which means you don't have to pay every time you see them. They can direct bill to the insurance company. Also, the counseling treatment overseas is not covered. So for people who are currently overseas, if you need to see a counselor in your home country, it cannot be covered, unfortunately. All right, and the repatriation and the travel. So, and I mentioned a little bit about the repatriation due to mental illness. If students are unwell, they need to go home. The trip can be covered. It's also unlimited with no access. And interrupted travel, it means sometimes you booked flight, but due to sickness or something happened which is out of your control, you cannot go, and your insurance can cover the either lose of deposit, something you have already paid but not refundable, or if the flight is delayed. For example, if you want to fly from Wellington to Auckland, from Auckland to Japan, but however, the connection flight is delayed, so you miss another one. Any additional costs, for example, transport or accommodation or even food, can be covered under insurance. Yeah. And next one is for your personal belongings. So personal belongings means something portable, belong to you and portable. So it doesn't cover home contents. If you rent a flight, you purchase lots of like your furnitures, like your fridge, TV, those are not covered. The personal belongings is only including something small like your cell phone, your laptop, or you have a computer, if you have bicycle, camera, or your passport or other travel documents. If it's accidentally damaged or just stolen, it's lost, it can be covered under insurance. So this one have a limit. So normally up to $2,500 per item. So if you have any item worth more than $2,500, you need to declare. Otherwise, if anything happens, that's the cap you can get. And it always have access. So for student side, it's $200 access. And I checked Southern Cross, they have 500. So access means something insurance don't pay. So for example, if you have a laptop, it's accidentally damaged and can't be repaired. and the laptop was $1,000, then insurance will only pay you up to $800. So the first $200 excess, they won't pay you. Hope that makes sense. So if you have something damaged, you normally need to take it to a repair shop to see if it's repairable, and ask them to write you a repair note. If it's repairable, insurance will cover the repair costs. If it can't repair it, then insurance might cover the replacement based on your original item's value. So if you lost an iPhone 10, but you want to buy an iPhone, what is now 12, 11, so they will base on the iPhone 10's value to pay you. All right, so and also for iPhone, laptop, they will have depreciation value for items over 6 months. So if it's pretty new, so you probably will get full price. But if it's more than 6 months, it always have discounts on those. This is very important that you are required to take responsible care in protecting your stuff. I think as Jessica and John mentioned before, so if you leave your stuff in a public place, for example, you go to like a nightclub, you leave your jacket with your cell phone on the chair, then you go have a drink or dancing with friends. When you come back to the chair, your jacket is gone, your phone is gone, it's not covered under insurance. Okay, so you need to have responsible. So if you have the jacket on you, your phone is with you, but when you do the dancing, someone just take it, then it will be covered. So that's the difference. Okay, and if you go out, make sure you lock your room. If you have like a locker to keep your safety stuff, buy a little locker. It's not expensive to put your valuable stuff in, like passport. If you have anything valuable, jewelry, just keep there, right? Because if it's someone breaking into your room, take it. If your house is not locked, if your window is open, if your door was unlocked, it's not covered under insurance. So you do require to have reasonable care to protect your stuff. Okay. And personal liability. That means if you accidentally hurt someone, like car accident, you hit someone, not hopefully not, or when you cook, you burn the kitchen or you burn the house. So insurance can cover up to $500,000 or $2.5 million if it's a person. So it's pretty generous coverage again, but make sure you don't try, okay? All right, another one is important, but a touch wood from my end. I hope it's not going to happen to anybody, but just so you know, briefly, it's death and disablement will be covered by insurance. Okay, just briefly let you know. And when you read your insurance policy, you need to understand what is covered, but also you need to understand what is not covered. So you're not going to surprise when you're making a claim, then the insurance company says, sorry, we can't cover that, okay? So I mentioned pre-existing medical condition can't be covered. Elective dental treatment, normal maintenance cannot be covered. And contraception appointment, prescriptions, if you come across pregnancy, no matter what you're going to do with it, it's not covered. So if you do not have a family plan, yeah, just make sure you study hard and play safe, okay? And normal medical regular checkups is not covered as well, routine checkups. And if you need to do a medical checkup for visa purpose, it's not covered. And vaccination is not. Most universities provide free flu vaccination every year, so check with your university or your school's medical center, they can tell you. And car insurance is not covered. So if you have a car or a motorbike or scooter, you better to have a separate insurance, because this insurance will only cover something belong to you. Bicycle is covered because it's considered as exercise equipment. So keyboard is covered, but doesn't cover piano. So that's the difference, something portable. Okay, so I think that's me about